Yes, I did leave the little sticky thing on here, mainly so I could keep fingerprints off since I'm going to be touching it a lot. I also left over here, this is my new upload because while I was testing this, I uploaded a new picture and there we could see it, but we're going to touch on that a little later. What you were looking at was the albums. That was the first thing that I set this to open to. If you don't do anything, this is going to be the first screen that you're greeted with when you first turn on and set up your digital picture frame. You might be wondering, this picture here will be some initial pictures that are added to the frame itself. You've got your weather, your time, and then your Wi-Fi status right there. And then if I wanted to start a picture slideshow, I can select the picture in the middle. And then it's again letting me know that there's still something new there. And that will start your slideshow. Now from the pictures icon here, I can select it and I can do play all, which will make sense a little later. I can crop, I can rotate, and I can also get picture information. Selecting this will show me when it was added to the device, not any of the actual pictures information. And you have to touch information again to make it go away. And then we've got our more settings. This is also located in another area, but this will allow you to set up BGM. This calendar display is kind of interesting in that when you're in picture mode, it will actually show you a calendar at the bottom here. So if you like seeing a calendar, that would be helpful. The rest of these all are in another location, so I will show you those later. But on this screen also, we have the ability to delete this. And then we've got, this is for audio, but this doesn't have any audio. And then we're going to select back in the upper left-hand corner there. And now it's shifting to a new image right there. These photos that you're seeing right now are under albums. This is where your photos are located. Now there's two places that you're going to notice things. There's user uploads up here. So these are pictures that I sent from my phone to the device itself. And then we have our local. So we have photos. So these are locally stored using up the 32 gigabytes of internal storage. And then we have other, which were the pre-installed photos. We have options over here. So if I come over and select edit, I can select all, I can copy them, I can move them. Notice I would just be moving those to the SD card, or I can delete all of these. We're going to select back. I'm going to come up to my photos up here. So we've got loop check, loop all, random play all, reverse order. So this is kind of how you'd want them displayed, because think of this more as like a slideshow than a digital photo frame. Now, this was all under my local albums. You might have noticed up here in the corner, there is SD card. Now, that's because I have in the back of this an SD card. So this is something that I moved around from this file over here. Now, some of these you saw because yes, I did put these on the photo frame itself. But if I select one, I can play it, I can crop it, I can rotate it, I can download it, which will again put it on this device, and then I can delete it if I wanted to. If you download it, if you don't want to have the SD card in the back of the photo frame, this is how you would kind of move stuff. When I come to my albums, I can select, do I want this to be the album playing? Do I want other, which is this one, to be playing? Or do I want these to be playing? So random play all, now it's going to start playing these. That's how you're going to have to start to get your photos to actually play. Now, when you first load this up, this is where you come to. All of the options to make it play right from the album, that's over here in settings, which we're going to get to. Each of these has another section. So if you had any music uploaded, it would be here. If you have any videos, this is where they'll be located. And I did upload a couple of videos. So right here, if I play that, it has audio in the background and it's playing and doesn't look too bad, all things considered, but we're going to come all the way back. That was our videos. Now we're going to go to calendar. Now, calendar is just another view of the calendar and kind of lets you see, you can see I have photos moving over there. If I don't want that, I could simply select the time and then I don't see photos anymore, but you're getting this because you want photos. But this is if you need like a bigger calendar view and just want to see a smaller picture instead of having the large picture with the calendar at the bottom. Weather, well, this is going to be initially based on your location, or you can input information into here, which is what I did. I did a search and I did Gettysburg. So it's showing me the weather for Gettysburg, which is actually where these pictures were taken. So very on point. Now we come over to our settings. And this is going to be where you initially start things off. You're going to see a QR code and a number that changes constantly to allow you to validate your account. And that's based on these options down here. So that was account. We have our Wi-Fi. This will allow you to pick and set up a Wi-Fi so that you can receive pictures from your phone or from friends. If you don't need this, then you don't have to actually turn this part on, but just wanting you to know where it is. Moving over, we have customize. This is where you're going to spend a lot of time. First being, you're going to change your language. you've got your screensaver. So in my case, I have after 30 minutes of inactivity, what will happen is it will turn itself off. Now, keep in mind, going through a photo album is considered activity, so you don't have to worry about that. You have screensaver type, I picked a Halloween clock, but you've got a lot of choices in there. Display mode, this will be for your photos. I selected full screen, but you could do normal or stretch. And then play interval, how much time passes in between your pictures. You can go as low as 5 seconds or as high as an hour, 24 hours, or manual. I wish that there was a 5 minutes. That's kind of like my sweet spot is 5 minutes. Play animation, like I said, you have to think of this as more of like a slideshow or a PowerPoint. So this is actually going to be how your pictures come into frame. Type of startup autoplay. What does that mean? That first screen that you see when this turns on. You can have it go right to the pictures, which is what I have. You can have it go right to the video, main interface, which is what we were looking at when we first booted this up, or music. I like pictures. You probably got this for pictures. Just know settings, customize, type of startup, and that'll get your pictures going right away. Periodic auto sleep, well, come in here. What this will do is there is no actual ambient light sensor on this. So if you want your photo frame to go to sleep and use less power, you could simply indicate when you want it to sleep. So I have between 9 and 8 a.m. it sleeps, and then between 9 and 8 p.m. it's awake. And if I need to change any of these, I could simply tap it. You see it changes the color. That's all you do, or you can clear it. There's no save button after that. You just move on. Here we've got our screen brightness. You could set it for 100 all the way down to 0, which will still be backlit somewhat. Coming down even further, we have our volume. This will be for videos if you have them on here. And then open receive pictures automatically and add them in your carousel. So that's going to be your visualization, and you could toggle that on and off, and that is the last option there. Coming to the right, we have alarm. Well, you can use this as an alarm clock if you wanted to. I don't use it like that, but you could. Time zone, you can automatically set date and time, or you can do it manually where you can come in here, set date, set time zone, and use 24-hour clock. This is on by default, so you probably want to come in there and turn that off. To the right of that is picture. This is blurred out, but this is an email address that is specifically tied to your picture frame so that people can email, or you can email yourself pictures. Keep in mind, this will also use data. Here we have our storage. You could see right here, we have local storage. I'm using 523 of the 32. I have used 11.77 megabytes of my 10 gigabytes of cloud traffic. Notice it doesn't say cloud storage, cloud traffic. Sending things is going to eat that up. And then I have an SD card in the back of this, and it's only using 125 of the 8 gigabytes. So if you don't necessarily want to overflow the 32 gigs of storage in this, you get yourself an SD card, load that up with pictures, put that in the back, select that as your album, and just go through that. I like that. I don't like the cloud traffic, lifetime cloud traffic that it has before it starts charging you, but that's all under storage. And then we come over to About, which has a lot of sensitive information in it, but that's where you can change the name of your photo frame as well as update your firmware if you need to. So that's where you go. If we want to go back, we simply select the back icon in the upper left-hand corner. And again, I'm going to show you if I come to album and I've got other or photos. If I come in here and I select random play all, now everything in this photo file, which is my SD card, which is showing Gettysburg, will now play and continue to play, and until you tell it not to. So keep in mind, you've got like 2 different storage areas, 3 if you include the internal one, that you can pick and choose how to play. And if you swipe, this will bring you through your pictures. That one's actually a little blurry. That is not a fault of the frame itself, but the user who is taking the picture. But that is all the navigation and settings that we have for the Kodak Digital Picture Frame.